What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Fate Stay visual novel playthrough. So this is part 4. I changed the camera from my computer to this because the last time the voice was kind of weird. I tried to change the settings and it didn't work. Obviously not while I'm doing the reaction, but on my own. And I can't re-record the last reaction. That's why I uploaded the way it was. So sorry about that. But this time, let's go and get this started. So Archer summoned basically, and he had a good look around the city. Oh, now let's see when the action is gonna begin, because I think it's gonna begin very soon. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, okay, it's starting with their typical living room. So after breakfast, I clearly explained my immediate plan.
何学校に行くだと
Okay, Archer seems worried about that.
ええ、何か問題あるかしら。
Well,
じゃ
from the tone of it, I think he does.
問題はないが
Oh, okay.
しかしそれは
Giving the way to the enemy. Archer hesitates but does not object. He must have realized yesterday that I'm not the type to take back my decisions. I can kind of tell without him saying so. Archer is sarcastic, but he has honest side to him, so it seems he won't complain about something he accepted. Yes, in other words, he is faithful and in an awkward way. This is my conclusion. No more of institution after watching Archer for all of yesterday.
リンマスターになったからには常に敵マスターを警戒しなくてはならない。学校という場は不意の襲撃に備えにくい場所だろ
True.
そんなことはないけどね。いいあっちゃん。私はマスターになったからって今までの生活を変える気はないわ。それにマスター同士の戦いは人目を避けるものでしょ。それなら人目につく学校にいれば不意打ちされることはまずないと思うけど。
Well, that's what he thinks.
そうか。リンがそう決めたのなら私は従うだけだ。
He can only obey.
だが霊体化して君の護衛をするぐらいはいいのだろうな。まさか学校に行っている間はここに残れなどとは言うまい。
Who is saying that?
当たり前じゃない。学校に限らず外に出るときはそばにいてもらうからね。マスターを守るのもサーバントの役割なんだから頼りにしてるわ。
Okay, that was weird. Never mind. Sorry, guys. Okay.
それを聞いて安心した。信頼に応えるのは騎士の務め。せいぜい期待にそうとしよう。だがリン、もしもの話だが、その安全な場所に敵がいたとしたらどうする？
Okay.
何？学校にマスターがいるかもし
He
れない
did say
ってこと？
hypothetically, didn't he?
そうだ。確かに学び屋には生徒と教師以外は入りにくいが、すでに内部の者がマスターだとしたら厄介ではないのか。
それはないんじゃないかな。この町には魔術師の家系は遠坂とあと一つしかないの。そのあと一つっていう家系は落ちぶれてるしマスターにもなってないし。
Okay, so she is basically saying Sakura or Shinji won't be a master.
マスターになっていないとどうしてわかる？
Exactly.
ね、うち以外に魔術師の家系がいるんなら真っ先に確かめるのは当然でしょ。そいつマスターにはなってなかったし、あっちの家系の後継者にはマスターになるだけの魔力がないから無視して構わないよ。
Oh, okay, so this is obviously about Mato family.
そうか。つまりリンの通う学校にはもう一人魔術師がいるのだな。だがマスターになれるほどの魔力を持ち合わせていない。
But there's no requirement for him to have a sufficient amount of mana, isn't it?
そういうこと。
Because
だから
end of the
他の
day,
マスターは外から
Grail
来た連中
randomly
が
choose
大
a
半のはず。
like a weak Maggie
そ
too.
んな連中が学校にまでやってくることはないでしょう。
まあ今の段階ではな。だがリン 何事にも例外は存在する。もし学校に
Exactly.
君が知らない魔術師がいたとしたら、
だから
Oh,
い
okay,
ない
wait.
ってば。
Like I said, there aren't any Maggies are sensitive to the others Maggie. If we are at the same school for years, I should be able to sense other Maggie no matter how well they hide it. Okay, C seems confident. Exactly, most of the monsters probably come over. I don't think people will come to the school. Well, what is there? Oh, is there what is Maggoos at your school that you don't know about? Okay.
断言するけど、うちの学校に魔術師は2人しかいないわ。そのうちの1人が私で、もう1人はマスターになるだけの力がない魔術師見習いなの。
She's definitely talking about Shinji, right? Not
わか
Sakura.
ったアーチャーの用心はただの杞憂よ。
So she's taking it easy,
そんな
huh?
こと絶対にありえないんだから。
だからもしもの話だ。物事には常に裏目が存在する。
Look at him smirking.
本来ありえざることが起こるのもまた運命だ。もしそういった事態になった場合、私に八つ当たりをするのだけは思いとど
I
まって
can't wait for him to say that to her. That's gonna be pretty fun. Just that action make me want to take him out of, make it out on him. But if I did, I would be late for school. But yeah,
そんなことあるわけないじゃない。もしもの話っていうのは起きないからもしもの話なのよ。もしそんなことになったら、その時は私の見通しが甘かったってだけなんだから。
well, it is.
よし、確かに聞いたぞ。それでは行こうか、リン。君の学び屋まで30分。そろそろ出なければ間に合わない時間帯だ。
Okay, to the school. Okay.
驚いた。もしもの話って本当にあるのね。
So she sends it.
ああ、私も驚いている。いや、何事もケチをつけておくものだな。思わぬところで役に立った。
Around us are students heading to the classroom and it's almost time for homeroom. It's a crowd of people rushing into the school building. We stand dumbfounded. Okay, so they sense the circulating thing. Well, around circle
空
area.
気がよどんでるどころの話じゃない。これ、もう結界が張られてない。
Yep.
完全にではないが、すでに準備は始まっているようだな。ここまで派手にやっているということは、よほどの大物か。
Oh,
とんでもない素人ね。
basically.
異常を感じさせる結界なんて三流だもの。やるんなら仕掛ける時まで隠し通しておくのが一流よ。
Okay.
で、君はどちらだと思う、リン。
She gonna go with the amateur, obviously.
一流だろうが三流だろう
Oh,
が
okay.
知ったことじゃないわ。
Damn, these footsteps are
私のテ
annoying.
リトリーでこんなゲスなもの仕掛けたやつなんて問答無用でぶっ倒すだけよ。
In my territory, okay. I walk angrily through the schoolyard. As a magus, I'm not about to mince a word, but I can't be satisfied until I properly punish the creator of this boundary field. Okay. After second period, while walking back from the music room, I see a first year student walking unsteadily. The student is carrying some stack of paper and it looks like she's having trouble. Oh, that's Sakura, right?
Sakura.
Yeah. Eh?
遠坂先輩。
Her voice is so low.
何プリント？世界史って言ったらうちの担任じゃない。クズキのやつ。女生徒に使いをさせるなんて何考えてんだか。ほら、半分貸し。
Oh, okay, there was more to that.
ありがとうございます、先輩。
Oh, okay, no. I thought I skipped something because I kind of skipped the voiceover, not the text. Anyway.
いいっていいって。それじゃ これさくらのクラスだね。
Hi. Oh, okay.
久月先生のところです。誤字があったから回収するって言ってました。
Recalling them because there was a misspelling.
納得。久月は融通きかないからね。一つ誤字があったぐらいで試験を中止させるやつだった。
What a nice teacher. To cancel the test.
試験って学校の試験をですか？そう。あれは去年の中間試験だったかな。みんながガーッとマークシートを塗りつぶしてる時にやってきてね。誤字があるので正しい問題ではなかった。よって試験は中止。後日改めて行うってあの調子で淡々と言ったのよ。
Oh,
私たちも驚いたけど先生方も驚いてね。今でもあれは語り草よ。
still talk about it today, eh?
なんか
So we're getting to see Kuseki more.
先生、物を教える立場に間違いは許されないって人ですから。クズキのは度が過ぎてるけどね。さくらもそのうち思い知るわよ。
As a rock or a mountain.
岩か山かって感じなんだから。遠坂先輩、久月先生のことが好きなんですね。先輩がそんな風に言うなんて珍しいです。そう？まあ確かに久月はもうちょっと柔軟性があればなって思うけど。
I think that, but I also think he's not a bad this way. Okay. At our school, there's a teacher liked by all students and a teacher feared by all students. I'm expecting the balance between the two works so well that I think Kuseki-sensei is a good disciplinarian. He's the stick in the carrot and the stick approach.
まあ2年になればもっと久月と顔を合わせるようになるわ。あいつは倫理も受け持ってるし。そんなことよりさくら、ちょっと聞きたいことがあるんだけどいい？
Okay.
何ですか先輩？昨日の話なんだけど、さくら見かけない外国人と話してなかった？
Oh, okay. I didn't know. This is definitely not animated.
見てたんですか先輩？
She's blushing.
たまたま。それであれ何だったの？知り合い？いいえ、それがそのよくわからない人だったんです。あの人道に迷ってたみたいでした。
Okay.
いろい
So
ろ聞いてくるんだけど何を言ってるのか
so
聞き取れない。
Gilgamesh went and confused her.
その
Ah, so she ran away. Oh, okay.
そっか。ごめんなさい。少しだけ気になったから。いえ、構いません。そのここまででいいです先輩。あと
Oh, okay.
それじゃあまたね。
Alright, I passed the handout bags to Sakura. As I started head back to my classroom, I paused.
さくら、最近はどう？はい、大丈夫。元気です、私。そう。シンジがまた何かやったら言いなさい。あいつはどってものを知らないから。黙っていると悪化する一方よ。
Oh, okay, so she's been kind of looking after Sakura.
心配いりませんよ先輩。兄さん、この頃は優しいんですから。
Oh, okay. If she says that with such a smile, I can't say anything else. I bid her goodbye once more and turned back on the familiar junior. And the classroom. The day ends. Students leave the classroom and the building gets darker by the second. The sun will set soon. Okay, it's gonna begin. When the red sun sets and night falls, there should be no one left in the school.
始めるわよあーちゃん。まずは結界の下調べ。どんな結界かを調べてから消すか残すか決めましょう。
I address my invincible partner. Archer must understand as I sense him nodding. The boundary field is something protects its caster. You could call it geographical magic, in which one knights the line of magic across the land to change the interior. Infinite different effects are possible within the boundary field. Infinite different effects are possible within. There are all sort of boundary fields, from one that conceal the area from people's eyes to one that limits the use of magic within them. The most aggressive all are the oppressed life form within them. The boundary field laid out over our school is of that kind. Okay, it's not yet complete, but once it's complete, everyone in the school should fall unconsciousness. But something like this won't affect me. After all, a boundary field is something targeted not at me, but at the place I am in. Such an indirect magical energy intervention has no effect on Maggie, who have magical energy through their bodies. A weak current flow through the air will only be repelled by a strong current like myself. So this boundary field has a different intention. I don't know what kind of person set up this boundary field, but this intention is not to defeat a master. It's hard to believe, but his target is everyone in this school. There's only one reason to do something like that. Unbelievably, this guy is... I search the school building and emerge on this rooftop to finish. It's dark outside. It's 8 o'clock now, way past school closing time, which is 6. Okay, so the student from the clubs and everybody should have disappeared. There's only people... The only people still in the school are me and Archer.
これで7つ目か。とりあえずここが起点みたいね。
Okay, so she found the markings. 7-stroke mark is openly drawn on the rooftop. This purplish red character only visible to Maggie is something I have never seen before, engraved with something unknown.
参ったな。これ私の手には負えない。
Archer, the person who set up this boundary field, didn't think about anything. He didn't think, but the boundary field is bound with amazing skill. Okay. I can temporarily drain the magical energy from this boundary field, but I cannot eliminate the boundary field itself. The boundary field can be reactivated just by having the caster put more magical energy in it. By having the caster put more magical energy into it again. Okay. Archer says nothing. She don't know what to do. Let's see. He's been quiet ever since we came out on the rooftop, probably because he too recognized the power of this boundary field. The boundary field doesn't just drain one's strength. Once activated, it will literally dissolve all the people within it. Dissolve, oh damn, okay. There are boundary fields that drain physical and mental strength from people within them. But the boundary field laid out over the school is one of the complete different level. This is a soul eater. It is blood fort that dissolves people within it and claims the soul that seep out. Since ancient times, souls have been hard to handle. Oh, okay. Even though they are believed to exist and are necessary for magic, only one magus have ever understood the soul. Only one. Damn it. Souls are only things to be investigated or things to be moved into containers. It's incompressible, not merely to suck them out, but also collect them in single place. It's incomprehensible, not merely to suck them out, but also collect them in single place. It's because a magus has no use for them, even if one were to collect the unconvertible energy. So if there's a reason, it must be
あーちゃん
Archer.
あなたたちってそういうもの？
I asked coldly.
ご推察の通りだ。我々は基本的に霊体だと言っただろう。故に食事は大人ないし
So it's basically food for the servants.
君たちが肉を得ようとするようにサーバントは精神と魂を得ようとする。栄養を取ったところで基本的な能力は変わらないが、取り入れれば取り入れるほどタフになる。つまり魔力の貯蔵量が上がっていくというわけだ。
Okay, yes. To strengthen your servant, you must attack people indiscriminately.
マスターから提供される魔力だけじゃ足りないってこと？
足りなくはないが大いに越したことはない。実力が劣る場合弱点を武士で補うのが戦争だろう。
So it's like he's thinking in like an attack strategy wise, but Rin is thinking more of like a human way.
周囲の人間からエネルギーを奪うのはマスターとしては基本的な戦略だ。そういった意味で言えばこの結界は効率がいい。
Another long pause. Archer is saying that if I want to win, I should kill people and steal their strength. How simple? Well, it is simple, but it's not the right way to put it. Well, at least a normal person would think that anyway. I already knew that. That's why I think I know which path I'm going to choose.
それ勘に触るわ。二度と口にしないで、あーちゃん。
I say so while staring at the mark on the ground. For some reason, Archer sounds happy as he confidently has.
私も真似をするつもりはない。
Okay.
それじゃあ消そうか。無駄だろうけど、とりあえず邪魔をするぐらいにはなる。
It should hinder them a bit. I approach the mark engraved on the ground and extend my arm. The magic crest on my arm is the Book of Magic passed down the Tosaka family. Oh, okay. And dun, I switch on my sense. I push magical energy into my magic crest. Read the part that explains the elimination of boundary field. And now all I have to do is activate it. Eliminate surgical extraction. Second section. I touch the ground with my left hand and let my magical energy flow out. This will at least wash the color of this mark. But
なんだよ、消しちまうのか？もったいね
okay, there come Lancer. Suddenly, as if it to stop the erasure of the boundary field, a voice echoes over. Okay. I like this music. Dude, I like the soundtrack. Okay, I quickly stand up and turn around. On top of the water tower. In the sky, 10 meters away, a guy looking down at me. Deep ultramarine that melts into the night. His green is wild and bestial smell carried on the wind. The star of the beast is cool one. Is a cool one. The star of the beast is a cool one. The man in blue looks at me like an old friend, even in this situation.
これあなたの仕業。
いや、小細工を浪するのは魔術師の役割だ。俺たちはただ命じられたまま戦うのみ。だろ？そこの兄さんよ。
Okay, long pause. Casual, but his voice is filled with murderous intent. This guy can see Archer, so that means he's a servant.
やっぱりサーバント。
I mean, dressed up like this, come on.
そうとも。ね、それがわかるお嬢ちゃんは俺の敵ってことでいいの？
Okay, people, things have begun to unfold. Let's go. Sorry for shaking the table. My spine freezes. A normal light tone of voice, and it's colder than anything I ever heard. Scary enough to make me vomit. Oh damn! And everything just went. What is this? Negative. I can't tell how I should move or what my best course is. Okay, so this is all going in her brain. But my reason is telling me absolutely not to fight this man right here. Oh, okay.
大したもんだ。何もわからねえようで要点は抑えてやがれ。
Okay.
ああ、失敗したなこりゃ。面白がって声をかけるんじゃなかったぜ。
Just for fun, the man raises his arm. Okay. It's happened in an instant. The arm that he held nothing until now. Oh, okay. Got his spear. Now holds a red weapon 2 meters long. I jumped to the side without thinking. I can't spare the time to consider that I can't jump full force while on a rooftop. I just jump with full force to the side as if I was trying to smash the fence. A whirlwind brushes past my hair. Barely made it. He rushed me in the eye blink and mercilessly slashed at the space I just occupied.
いい足してるな、お嬢ちゃん。
The blue whirlwind pursues me. There are no escapes. The fence is behind me, to my sides. No, I won't make it. Okay, see, so my response is fast. I run the magic crest on my left arm and assemble the magic in a single measure. It lightens my body and adjusts gravity. Okay. In this instant, my body can move as a feather and I leap. Okay, I jump over the fence and fall from the rooftop. Okay, so this thing I remember. So Rin is jumping over the roof and Archer gonna help it out. It's funny, he haven't called for Archer yet. The wind and pressure pushes against my body. 15 meters to the ground, 1.7 second until landing. No, that's too slow, he will catch up. Okay, see, what is she doing? Okay, did she just increase the weight again? And okay, Archer caught her. I let Archer take the impact of the landing and start to run as soon as my feet touches the ground. First I have to change the location. We have to go somewhere we can move around freely, not a small space like rooftop. We have to move to a larger field with no obstacle to play Archers and my strengths. I run from the rooftop to the school ground in less than 7 seconds. Okay, I don't know how far that is, but I'm assuming that's fast. It's more than 100 meters. Okay, my speed is so fast that normal people would see only a blur. But that's...
いや、本気でいい足だ。ここで仕留めるのはいささかもったいなさすぎるか。
But that's basically that gap where he finished it with but that's says is all how fast he got here. Meaningless against a servant. At the moment I step back, Archer step in front, taking form. A cloudy night. In Archer's hand is a short sword that reflects the weak moonlight.
へえ。
Hey, that man cooks his mouth.
いいね。そうこなくっちゃ。話が早いやつは嫌いじゃない。
A large whirlwind. That's the weapon swung at me on the rooftop. The blood-red crimson lance that tried to mercilessly slaughter me.
ランサーのサーバント。
Servant Lancer.
いかにもそういうあんたのサーバントはセイバ
Oh, okay, he mistaken Archer for Saber because, he used swords.
ーって感じじゃねえな。何者だてめえ。
There's no sign of his previous casual demeanor. In response to Lancer, full of murder intention, Archer remained silent. Murderous intent. The distance between the two is about 5 meters. The weapon in Lancer is about 2 meters. For that man with the bestial smell, I feel like the remaining 3 meters are meaningless.
まっとうな一騎打ちをするタイプじゃねえなてめえは。ってことはアーチャーか。
Wow. Archer doesn't respond to the sneering voice either. Confronting each other strangely are red and blue. That is true. The two counterfeit colored knights are already watching for the others to clinching blow.
いいぜ。好みじゃねえが出会ったからにはやるだけだ。そら獲物を出せよアーチャー。
Take out your bow, Archer.
これでも礼はわきまえているからな。それぐらいは待ってやる。
So he's saying he can actually attack before he releases his sword. Oh well, bow and arrow. Archer didn't say anything. Archer does not respond. There's nothing to say to an enemy he must defeat. That steel back of his seems to declare so. Okay, that's a long pause. That makes me realize I'm being stupid. Archer is just waiting for my word, my
アー
command.
チャー
Archer, I talk to his back without
手助
approaching
け
him.
はしないわ。あなたの力ここで見せて。
Okay, so Archer is about to go all out, people. Be ready. What is that? What's that laugh? He grins as if to answer my words, and the red knight dashes forward. Twirling gust of wind. Short sword in hand, the red bullet lunges.
バカな。
What meets his what he in the blue spear thrust? If the dashing archer is raging wind, the response spearhead is divine wind. The sword swung swinging to deflect the thrust. Archer parries the thrust of high-speed lance with his sword. Okay, the one in red stops. Okay, this action is not that best when it's come to visual novel, is it? I mean, in anime you can see it more clearly, but this one you have to kind of visualize it. I'm not good at that. The enemy did not permit Archer's rush. The enemy doesn't even let him get within 2 meters of the range of the spear. For long weapon, distance is always preferred. As Lancer has weapon almost 2 meters long, he only need to attack when the enemy come into his range. Thrusting at the approaching enemy is easier than moving out yourself, true. But even so, Lancer closes the distance himself and doesn't even allow Archer to move forward.
たわけ旧兵風情が接近戦を挑んだな。
Okay, Lancer is a bit cocky, and then some more collision. His temper is like burning fire. Lancer close in with each blow, with no thought of stopping. With a long weapon, it's the suicide to close in to an enemy. The spearman tactic is to use their long range to defeat the enemy and win the battle. So as Lancer is just advancing unchecked, he doesn't have a chance of winning. Okay, so this is what Rin is thinking, right? No way. But that's just the by the book. Lancer's lance shows no vulnerability as it strikes for the throat, shoulders, forehead and heart. Thrusts so fast even the after image are blurred. As each strikes of his lance repel, rebuffs and pushes back Archer, any one of his thrust could be called a final blow. Damn, so every attack Lancer is making, it's like a final blow for Archer. But even as a bowman, Archer is a servant. No ordinary attack can be a final blow. That is true. And so more collision, more blocks. Having repelled the lance aimed at his forehead, Archer closes in with speed superior to Lancer's lance. Based on its shape, you might think that the main attack of lance is a thrust, but the basic strength of the lance is a swing. This is because the wide swing using its long range does not allow the enemy to dodge it by stepping back. True. A partial retreat does not allow escape, and an attempt to counterattack will only result in a slash stomach. But simply going forward will end up in a smash ripped from the long shaft of the lance. Kind of a deadly attack. Archer and Lancer are similarly built. On top of that, it's hard for Archer with no heavy armor to step into range for Lancer swung like a whirlwind. But thrusts are a different story. A blazing fast thrust certain to strike you in a certainly scary. But as long as the attack targets a point, there are many ways to avoid it once you see it. As Archer did just then, hitting the shaft on the approaching lance to redirect it slightly creates an opening. Okay. It must be because he underestimated a bowman. Probably. The advantage of a long weapon is the length and freedom of its range. Once Lancer has discarded this advantage himself, his defeat is... oh boy. The one in red stops. A nightmare like this time is reversing. The thrust is faster than the previous ones. Oh boy, okay. So Lancer not giving up either. Well, Lancer's attacks are pretty fast, so he haven't shown his full strength either. Let's see. Archer tried to parry the blow, but he gets flicked away along with his weapon. There are no opening in Lancer's attack. No, not just that. The thrust increase in speed and power without limit, and it become final blow even for a servant. Oh boy. Okay, so even Rin getting kind of frustrated. We were the one that underestimated him. So he's not messing around basically. For the servant, for Lancer's weapon, there are no general rules about Lances. Who could ever parry continue attacks without even space to breathe between them? Archer managed to retreat a bit and parries, and as a result the distance between them opens a little. That distance, Lancer uses that distance as a runway to launch an even more powerful attack, so he's gonna go with his Noble Phantom. The raging continuous attack is only a repetition of that, but that blow themselves are godlike. 10 blows already, damn. No, it must actually be many times more than that. So even Rin can't even keep up with this. That's the speed he's in. The heavy rain of lance pours with yet more strength, trying to skewer Archer to death. It's not fast, but it's just skill. It's thrust like a waterfall with no change in speed. Dude, they didn't like, this is not animated properly. Honestly, like this fight could have been much epicer if they'd done it correctly. What can Archer do as he is now on the defensive? With such a short sword, he can only parry the lance. He has no way to close on Lancer, and he continues to retreat. A vacuum of steel unfolds. Suppose I have to back Archer up, but my throats won't respond. My magic has a poor aim. Okay, Archer hasn't shown his true ability either, so let's see. Unless Archer gets far away from Lancer, I will hit him with my magic as well. Such an opening would only increase Lancer's advantage. And besides, frankly, I am captivated. This is battle between servants. This is the Holy Grail War itself, where we use heroic spirits, the highest rank of family of whom we could never otherwise obtain. Servants, family of different classes that obey the seven masters. These are the highest rank of families called heroic spirits that the Holy Grail summons. So it's misleading to call them familiars. Originally, familiars were just beings that run errands for the magus. Imagine perhaps a cat in boots, or cute white bird, or a black dog that doesn't obey its master, or something like that. Familiars that a mere magus can summon are of that level. Familiars are just familiars. They are only mascots that run errands for their masters, so they cannot be being stronger than their masters. Oh, okay. So this is the obvious difference. They cannot be stronger than their masters at the same time. Servants, even though they are similar as familiars, but they are just way stronger than the masters. But servants are different. They are the most powerful beings. Even for sorcerers, of which there are only 5 in this world, it would probably be impossible to form a contract with them. Oh damn. It's not that summoning is hard, or even that the ability of the servants surpasses the magus. Servants are being above magic. Okay, so we're gonna get to see each one of them. I will make it clear. Servants are heroes from the past. Myth, legend, fable, history. Fiction or no, the superhuman being who gain concert existence in folklore are what we call heroes. Okay, heroes that become internal in people's mind is no longer human after their death and is promoted to another form of existence. Humans who brings about miracles, serve people and achieve great deeds are called heroes even after their death. After being so called, they are promoted to hero spirits after their death and become guardians of humanity. It doesn't matter whether their people exist in reality or not, reality or only in stories. It is people's mind that creates a hero. Okay, reality or in stories. People wishes that this is how things should be given them, give them form and set them as a real. Authenticity does not matter. Okay, so basically the real thing doesn't matter. So if you think of somebody as a hero can fly, that's the hero. They can have a form as long as they have a fame as a legend and people have faith. The ultimate ideal humans have created, the greatest human people have created. These are the heroes, the heroic spirits. And of course, since they are beyond human, they cannot be controlled by human. Magus usually borrow their power only to mimic them. They can't summon the heroic spirits themselves. But the Holy Grail made it impossible into a reality. It summons the heroic spirits beyond human control, and it turns into a family obedient to the master. Sorry. That nonsense is a proof that the Holy Grail is almighty. And with that passing of years ignored, the heroic spirits are summoned. The most recent from 100 years ago, the oldest from the ancient type. The 7 heroic spirits obey each of the 7 masters to protect them and eliminate the masters of the enemy. Heroes from every age and country are revived into the present day to kill one another for supremacy. That is why this ritual is called the Holy Grail War. Okay, we return to the fight. But it seems the Holy Grail has its limits too. Even the Holy Grail cannot indiscriminately call unto the spirits-like being. Just as a form invented by humans is required for imaginary sixth element known as the devil to take form, the heroic spirits also need a form to live in this world. Okay, that form is their temporary name and the way they exist in this world. The Holy Grail have furnished classes so that the heroic spirits may take form more easily, and it only summons the heroic spirits that matches these classes. It's like a passport to the present, as it set up the role as the family in advance. By allowing the summoning heroic spirits to take on that role, it helps the spirits to take form. If there are 7 masters chosen by the Holy Grail, there are also 7 obeying those masters. There are 7 furnished classes. Okay, we're gonna get them. Saber. There are 7 King of Sword, Saber. King of Lance, Lancer. King of Bow. Oh wait, so no, King. This is where my English let me down. Knight of Bow, Archer. Mounted Soldier, Rider. Magus, Caster. And Silent Killer, Assassin. I like Assassin's card, it's so cool. Mad Warrior, Berserker. Only the heroic spirits with the attributes of these classes are summoned to the present to obey the master and become a servant. This is the servant system. A summoning and contracting with the heroic spirits beyond human control to win the miracle beyond human grasps. The ultimate competition held only on this ground, the one and the only Holy Grail War. Okay, the fight still continues, people. Look at Lancer, he's smiling. A loud crash. The short sword that deflects Lancer's lance flies from Archer's hand. This is Lancer's technique. A straight thrust that turns into a sweep at Archer's wrist. It was a blow Archer could not avoid even had he seen it coming. Damn. There is no effective way to parry a lance with the sword. A strong rebuff only results in stronger counterattack, and weak rebuff does not create any opening. The important aspect of the battle between the sword and lance lies in defeating the enemy when he is at the wrong range. There is no hesitation in Lancer. His movement to push Archer's back stops. He must intend to end this match in a single instant. The stars of firmly placed Lancer and the swordless Archer clashes. In that instant, the lance is thrust just like a flash of light. It can't even be seen. Forehead, neck and heart. 3 shots are launched, and one a fatal blow. Okay, but the flash is too fast to see and repelled by shining blades. Huh? In Archer's hand is the short sword again. A sword like before, a Chinese sword like hatchet. But the biggest difference is,
二等使いだ。
okay, a pair of swords. In his hands are matched swords, a mirror image of each other.
旧兵風情が剣士の真似事とはな。
Okay, the collision continues. Lance flies. Oh damn! As if to finish Archer off, the lance moves faster and faster. Archer defends with the burning spirit. His hawk-like eyes says that he will not retreat anymore. No, that he will only advance from now on. The clashing sound like a well-orchestrated music. Two steel clanging against each other. The sparking clashes increases in rhythm without pause. The battle of two is like a vacuum. It sucks in the air around them and it seems like everything approaching them would be cut to pieces. That's fast how they are fighting. In reality, it only lasts an instant. But for me, looking on, it seems like take an infinitely long time. Lancer tries not to let Archer near him, while Archer advances using his swords as a shield. Over 100 blows have been thrown, and Archer loses a sword every time. But it's only for a moment, as Archer has a sword in his hand in the next instant, forcing Lancer to back a little each time. Lancer finally is carelessness. That even though he doesn't know who is before him, he will be the loser if he dismisses him as a mere bowman. Dude, this fight is so, like, it doesn't do justice. The animation doesn't do justice when it's come to the anime. But if they decided to animate this properly, this will probably take an entire episode. That's probably one of the reasons why they showed it. Like she mentioned, it's only one, like just an instant in reality. But for her, it's like 100 years because it's that detailed. But at the same time, it's so quick. The distance widens, probably to recover. Lancer puts a large distance between them. His speed is extraordinary. Archer's charge was out of this world, but it was still slow compared to Lancer. The movement of his retreat had panther-like speed and agility. Okay.
27それだけ弾き飛ばしてもまだあるとはな。
Lancer muttered in irritation. No, it's more like confusion. Especially for a bowman, I feel the same way. According to father, a servant carries only one weapon. That weapon is filled with magical energy, so it's not something that can be created one after another, like Archer's was just doing. Servants are heroic that sublimate their spirit after death, equaling the Holy Spirits. To put it another way, they are like devils or angels. They are powerful family on their own, but their most powerful weapon is their proof of heroism. A magical item called Noble Phantoms. Okay, then we are getting into that. Noble Phantom is a weapon or armor that servants used when they were a hero. And it's treated as a last resort. The Noble Phantom is the one and only weapon for servant. This is because Noble Phantom is an ultimate weapon without equal. The lance that Lancer is using will show its power as a Noble Phantom when Lancer deems it's necessary. It's an impressive weapon by itself, but its true ability is to release all of its power using a true name. Heroes' weapons which rule over all others and which have killed dragons and gods. Servants activate their Noble Phantom using their magical energy. It's much like magic. servants recreate the destruction in legend using their weapons as a catalyst. Those weapons are never disposable. The sword that Archer brought out must be excellent, but they cannot be his noble phantom. He's a servant archer. He's the servant archer. So the noble phantom he concealed must be a bow.
どうしたランサー、様子見とは君らしくないな。先ほどの勢いはどこに行った？
Okay, so Archer is trying to provoke him.
しタヌキ減らず口を叩きやがる。
Cheater. Lancer's irritation is understandable. Even though Lancer fought as a spearman, Archer fended him off as a swordman. Which means Archer hasn't shown any of his ability yet. So it's natural for Lancer to feel cashed in.
いいぜ
Okay, he's
聞い
smiling.
てやるよ。てめえどこの英雄だ？
Well, he doesn't know about that either.
二等使いの旧兵なぞ聞いたことがない。
そういう君は分かりやすいな。僧兵には最速の英雄が選ばれるというが、君はその中でもえりすぐりだ。
Oh, okay.
これほどの宗師は世界に3人といまい。加えて獣のごとき敏捷さといえばおそらく1人。
ほう、よく言ったアーチャー。
At that instant, his vast murder intention make me forget to breathe. Lancer's arm moves. This is different from before, a stance free from contempt. The spearhead is lowered as if to strike the ground, and only his stance pierces
な
Archer,
らば食らうか。我が必殺の一撃を。
finishing blow.
止めはしない。いずれ越えねばならぬ敵だ。
Okay, Lance's body sinks down. Dude, the soundtracks makes you like into the story. Lance's body sinks down at the same time. A chill-like tone fills the schoolyard. The air freezes. Not a metaphor, it literally freezes. We can feel Rin's heartbeat. All the mana in the air is frozen. The only person allowed to breathe here is the warrior called Lancer. Wow. The lance in his Lancer's hands, unmistakably a demonic one. And now it is waiting to take its true form in the moment it strikes. Crap. He will be beaten. Okay, so Rin is worried about Archer. I don't know what kind of noble phantom that is, but the Archer will be beaten. Okay, so he is so sure of it. It's impulsively will, since this is the first time I felt such an institution, but there is no doubt about it. Archer will die when the lance is thrust. It is determined. Literally, Lancer's lance is the embodiment of inescapable death. Archer will be defeated. Archer will die when Lancer pierces his heart. And yet, even though I know what's going to happen, I can't even help him. Because if I move even a finger, that will trigger the attack. So if anything can stop this battle and stop Archer's defeat, it would be...
誰だ？
Oh boy. It would be the chance to appearance of a stranger we have all overlooked. Dude, that really set up the place. That's just like so cold, and this atmosphere was scary. Let's go. Alright, huh? Okay, see, like everybody suddenly came back into reality. Including me. The gushy air come from Lances disappeared. The sound of a fleeing footstep. That figure is definitely wearing a school uniform.
生徒まだ学 学校に残ってたの？
そのようだな。お
He
かげで
did
命
save
を
our
した
lives. Okay, so Archer himself knew he was gonna die. Well, he knew both of them were gonna die. Archer says calmly, well, we were certainly served, but
失敗した。ランサーに気を取られて周りの気配に気づかなかった。ってアーチャー、あんた何してんの？
見てわからないか。休む。
んなわけないでしょ。ランサーはどうしたのよ。
さっきの人影を追ったよ。目撃者だからな。おそらく消しに行ったのだろう。
oh, okay. Long pause. For an instant, my thoughts stopped.
追ってや。
Follow him, Archer. I will catch up right away. Long pause, and he's just going. Damn, how stupid of me. I curse my carelessness. It's the rule of Maggie to eliminate any witnesses, which is why if one of them didn't want to do that, one just had to allow no witness. I done that until now, so why do I have to make mistake today of all days? Okay, a night where even the moonlight is obscured. A student is lying on the cold hallway floor. Archer is standing still. He is staring blankly at the student. A smell hits my nose. The blood on the floor makes it clear that it's the smell of the
追っ
dead.
てアーチャー。ランサーはバスターのところに戻るはず。せめて相手の顔ぐらい把握しないと割が合わない。
And he goes. Archer goes after Lancer. I am left alone with the student lying on the floor. I can't look straight at him, but I must. This is my fault. This is my fault. This is my fault. Ever since I was a child, ever since I became the successor of Tosaka, I've been preparing for something like this. There is no good or evil for Maggie. I always told myself that this road has only my blood and the blood of the others, so
ランサーの槍で一突きか。心臓やられてちゃ助からない。
I don't know how long it's been since Lancer killed him. Was he lucky or unlucky to be pierced through the heart? I guess Lancer attack isn't simple external wound as the flow of the blood from the ritual isn't too severe. It's not too severe, but it's all over when the brain doesn't get any more blood. So no, basically if his heart was to pierce, he should have died instantly.
俺にはまだ
But
死んで
isn't
ないってのはすごい。
Okay, so he isn't dead yet, even at that point. Yes. He's still breathing faintly as if to give his last scream. But that will only last few more seconds. He can't heal his own wounds, and I don't have enough power to save him either.
顔を
I have to look at his face.
そ
I
れ
should
ぐらい
at
は
least
し
do
な
that.
くちゃ。
Oh, okay, so you haven't looked at his face yet. I tried to touch his head facing the ground and realized my fingertips won't move. They are trembling. I wonder why. This is probably her first blood scene or like a murder scene. I used to such things. Oh, see, I had to make these kind of choices many times before. I lost many things due to my mistake and my selfishness. That's why I'm ready for a day like this. So why am I so angry at myself?
ごめんね。認
I
める
will
話
see you off at least. I controlled my trembling fingers and failing knee with my will and looked at his face of the student. And everything just went blank, right? A huge smacking sound. It really feels like I've been hit on the head with a hammer.
やめてよね。なんだってあんたが。
Why does he have to? I grit my teeth. Not to suppress my trembling. I'm really pissed off. Why is it him? Why did it have to be him? I'm not mad at Lancer for killing a witness quickly and perfectly just as a servant should do. I'm just angry at him for staying late at this place on this day. Sakura's face just flashes in my mind. Okay, so this is all for the sake of Sakura because he has been looking after Sakura. Well, you know. She will definitely... Okay, yeah. And I recall one red tinted day after school a long time ago. A distant sunset, someone always running alone. And a boring girl stare at from far away. And before me, the corpse of someone who happened to get involved. There's a way. I might fail and lose my last resort in the process, but there is still a way. No, I will lose my last resort whether I succeed or fail, so the result for me won't change. Okay, this is where she's gonna use the pendant. It's a mistake. The fact of his death is already determined. It's my fault for not noticing the things around me. It's his fault for unluckily staying late. So she's trying to find a reason for not to serve him. So I don't need to go that far. Yes, because this is what my father who gave me nothing else left just for me. A powerful chunk of magical energy, a reliable last resort to win through this battle. A precious thing just for me. So what idiot. Okay, so my cameras decide to stop. I shake the feeling off and kneel in front of the one who will become corpse in another second. And she cast her magic. The pendant in my hand becomes lighter, so she used the magic within the pendant. My father's memento is drained almost to emptiness and fall onto what used to be a dying body. Okay. Yes, it can't be helped. I didn't have the power or skill to revive someone with a damaged heart, damaged blood vessels, and on verge of brain death on top of that. That's why I had to make up for my lack of skills with this powerful object. Oh, okay. So he didn't technically die. So she didn't revive anybody. She just served someone supposed to be dying in a second. But since he was still alive, I just did what I could and ended up saving his life. Okay. So this wasn't a bad experience. So she's trying to take the positive of... Yeah, there we go. I'm just bluffing. Yeah, there's no need for me to stay here any longer. Archer should be following Lancer, so I should go home by myself. Okay. On my way back, I remember. I left the pendant at school, just a pendant now that the magical energy has drained out of it. Okay, oh well. I've no more use for that pendant. Sure, it might have a bit of magical energy left in it, but surely less than the 10 jewels I have. What my father intended to leave for me was enough magical energy to win the Holy Grail War. Damn. So now, without magical energy, that thing is meaningless. Well, for her, you know, somebody might think it in a different way, like me. I enter the house without saying anything and sit on the sofa. Archer isn't back yet. I sigh and listen to the clock for a few minutes. Okay, she's still thinking if that's a good decision to use that pendant or not. I think that's probably what she's going through. I jumped up and brewed some tea. There are so many things to think about. Most importantly, the servants. I have just witnessed a battle between servants I had previously one understood intellectually. But it seems like Archer already know about it. The easiest way to beat an enemy servant is to learn their identity and find their weakness. For the moment, idiot who doesn't even know his own identity, the biggest weak point of the servant is their true name. Discovering the servant's true name, in other words, figuring out their identity, should let you take a guess at what kind of noble phantom they might have. It goes without saying, but since servants are heroic spirits, they have a legendary associated with them. If you figure out their legend, you should be able to find out most of their abilities. Servants are called by their class name because they want to hide their true names. Because the more famous a hero is, the more people know about their weapons and their weaknesses. A heroic spirits that become a servant never gives out their true identity. The only ones that know the servants' identities are the masters. There's even a tactics understanding the masters hide their servants' identities while trying to discover the identities of the others. This is the fifth Holy Grail War. The qualities of the servants are determined by the ranks of the summoned heroic spirit. It goes without saying that the more famous the heroes are, the heroes with the better weapons are the stronger. But it's difficult to summon such a heroic spirit. To summon a heroic spirit, one must have connection with them, such a weapon they used during their lives. Even the Magic Association has a few of such things. So generally, one will summon a heroic spirit that suits them, like I did. A servant's strength is determined by the rank of heroic spirit. But it's not that simple, as even the most powerful heroic spirit may have hard time depending on the class they are assigned to. That is because special abilities assigned to each class, the possibility of the weak defeating the strong. The 7 classes each have a different additional ability, and one even has a chance of defeating an opponent of higher rank depending on the ability affinity. So there's a lot. It's not just either rank or their class. It's just have so much mixing in it and depends on the opponent, etc., etc. To take an example, Infamous Hero has defeated a great hero 4 times in the past. As far as I know, the most powerful servant is Saber. In all the previous 4 wars, Saber has made it to the final fight. It is said that 3 classes, Saber, Lance and Archer, have strong magic resistance. Lancer, Archer, okay. To put simply, magic is pretty much useless against them. It's because they are fighters who fought through the age of myth when magic was used widely. Magics that Maggie use now would probably dissipate just by touching them. Anyway, that's why these 3 classes consider the basic and the best. Another that's worthy of mention is the Servant Berserker. Okay, the heroic spirit summoned into the class loses their sanity. Just as the name implies, they become mad warriors, puppets of the master. The benefit from this is strengthening of their power far exceeding the power they had when they were alive. However, the more powerful the servant becomes, the greater burden imposes on the master. In the past, Master who summoned Berserker couldn't control their rampaging servant and destroy themselves by running out of magical energy. We saw that in Fate Zero. No exceptions. The winner and losers of the Holy Grails are largely determined by the ability of the servants. Well, I expect there are a way to win it by the master's effort, but it's basically fighting between the servants. That is why a master should be very careful when summoning a servant. Alright people, this is actually where we're gonna end it. So as I promised, there was gonna be 2 videos in this week, and one of them is this one, and the next one should be out a bit later, hopefully by before this Sunday anyway. So this is basically a main scene is where Shiro getting healed. They actually didn't show Shiro's face, did they? But anyway, Shiro's getting healed, and the main thing is the battle between Archer and Lancer. That was honestly, I wish there was just an episode full of that scene with it, like um, ufotable animation, and they're showing this in like a slow motion, in their view, like either Lancer or Archer's view, or how Rin was seeing it. How she was able to look at that like 100 years, not in an instant, because we did see it in an instant way, but it wasn't that detail as he explained, which, as I mentioned, I'm not great at imagination, but even for me, just when I imagine when they were told, like when I was reading through this, it was just epic. So if they animate it fully, all of that, it would be so epic for me anyway. But other than that, it was great. The pace and the soundtrack and everything was so on point. I liked it. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys enjoy this playthrough. If you do have any feedback for me, do let me know, since this is my first visual novel. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. So our challenge for this video is, let's try to get at least 5 likes, and if you are new, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell symbol next to the subscribe button. Also, if you go to the description section, there's few links, social media and stuff, so you can check it out. And yeah, if you go up there, you can find my previous playthrough reaction, or playthrough video, basically part 3. So let's go and save this before I do anything stupid. Save here, part 4, and save. So this is where we ended. So we just got explained about Archer, Berserker, Lancer and Saber. And we can see why Rin has been calling Saber the strongest heroic spirit, because Saber has been there in the finale for the last 4 battles. And yeah, there was a conversation between Sakura and her too, and also we kind of got to see why she mainly served Shiro here. So I'm looking forward to the next one. I don't know when we actually gonna get. Is this all gonna be through like Rin point of view, or is there gonna be something else happening? I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to it. Anyway guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day or night, and see you guys with more videos.